We're coming up on a holiday. Is there any better holiday than Boxing Day? That's right, football fans. It's time to turn our attention to the Premier League. I'm Jason Mattis. He's Matt Lawrence, as always. We're giving you Boxing Day Premier League winners. How's it going there, Matt? Oh, I didn't add him to the room. Oh, there he is right there, folks. I never added him up in here. Here I am doing the whole spiel. Welcome to the show. Bam, now we got Matt. What's going on, man? I was just telling everybody about how great Boxing Day was.
There's nothing better than Boxing Day, Jason. There just isn't. It's one of those where it's fantastic all around. It sucks that 2 of these fixtures are canceled, so now we're only breaking down 8 matches instead of 10. But, yeah, I'm excited to break them down with you as always.
Yep, let's hopefully that number stays at 2. I've got a feeling that list is going to grow, but, I think we were here last week. We talked, I think at the time it was 9 games, and what it get reduced down to 3? Only 3 games last week?
Yep.
I still went 2-0, though. I gave out 6 bets on this show. 4 of them didn't happen. 2 of them happened. Went nice 2-0 here. Got Man City team total up over Newcastle. Talked about how the sportsbooks gave a ridiculous price on that, over 2.5. Took advantage of that. And Wolves-Chelsea easily came up under 2.5. Told you guys, don't watch that game. It was going to be boring as hell. That's exactly what that was. Wolves did get a goal. Got called off due to offsides, be a VAR. Right call, obviously, but under 2.5 cashed easily. You had a couple plays last week. Did they all get wiped out, or what'd you do?
I had City team total, which was a winner. Or no, it's not.
No, you had score in both halves.
Score in both halves, and then I had Wolves +1. So yeah, both of them came in.
Oh yeah, Wolves +1. Oh yeah, nice. We both nice. We both went 2-0.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. All right, let's give the people some more winners. Let's jump on into it. As Matt said, 2 games have already been called off. Liverpool Leeds. That one's not going to be happening. Unfortunate. Thought I had a good bet for that game. And then also Wolves-Watford. That's going to be the other game that Matt mentioned is also postponed. So let's start with that first one. Let's jump on into it. We got Everton going on against Burnley. I'm looking forward to this fixture because you look at these 2 names, I think people are going to gravitate towards Everton being the better team, but that's not the case. If you look at the last form, or look at the last 5, Everton is in 13th place, Everton's in 14th, both on 4 points. But what is better is I always talk about how good Burnley is defensively. They've only conceded 5 goals in those 5 games. Everton has conceded 10. They're scoring basically the same. Burnley scored 4, Everton scored 5. So I think you got a very, very evenly matched. I'm going to drop this game in a parlay, which I'll go ahead and reveal a little bit later on my official bets. But instead of giving out that bet that's in the parlay, of course I would ride under 2.5. I think this one will hit right there. It'll be a 1-1-ish kind of game around there. Neither one, there's not just a lot of separation. So big, tight, cagey match on Boxing Day. That's how it's going to go. What about for you, Matt?
I totally agree. This one isn't one of my best plays, but I think that there's going to need to be some things added here because you're looking at some of the comments from Benitez, only able to field like 9 of his normal guys. They have a ton of problems here. Richarlison out, Lewin out, Davies, Mina, Townsend, Rondon, Gray, Delph, all of these guys, and there could be some more coming. I wouldn't be shocked if this match gets canceled, but you have to grab Burnley, and I think you have to grab it now. This line is only going one way. I think Burnley on the double chance is a fantastic parlay piece. When you look at the head-to-heads between these 2, 2-2-1 for both sides. So both of these teams have won. There have been draws, and they've lost. But Burnley they're in good form, too. They haven't been beat in 6 out of their last 7. Burnley aren't losing here, and I love the under 2.5. I really wasn't thinking about it like that until you mentioned it because this is what's going to happen. Everton are going to show up with one of the worst lineups we've seen all season, and Benitez is going to sit back and just try and play on the counterattack, and he's going to say, Burnley, come and break us down. We know that is not Burnley's MO, so it leads itself to an under. It leads itself to Burnley winning this match, and it might need to get added.
Yeah, they've got no attacking quality. If any opponent sits on Burnley, that's a wrap. They're not going to be able to break anybody down once you close in on the spaces. You mentioned it there, and we probably should have said at the top of the show because I think it's going to stand for all of these 8 matches. You better be checking lineups this week, folks. I mean, Matt gave you the list of the Everton players that are going to be missing. That's going to be a theme here with every single squad, every club. They're going to have a plethora of guys out due to illnesses or injury-related. So make sure you definitely check lineups this week. But now I think that's a bang and play under 2.5, and I love that double chance parlay piece that you threw out there. Let's move it on now to Manchester City versus Leverton, where all I see is goals, because you've got City, who's creating the most goals in the league, and you got Leicester, who's giving them up fourth most in the entire league. I cannot get off goals. It was a winning bet last week. Manchester City team total over 2.5, so go right back to it, folks.
I'm on the same angle here. I just don't trust Leicester's defense. Playing up against a C plus, B minus Liverpool yesterday in the League Cup and still concede 3. Yeah. There are just major issues, Jason, with this defense. And yeah, I know that Leicester have scored. Both teams have scored as hit in the last 15 road Leicester City matches. But it's a real one of those contrasting styles, really, because City aren't going to give them many opportunities. So Leicester's going to have to be extremely clinical on the counterattack to score here. Not something I really want to bet on. And so, yeah, I'm just going with a team that I know is going to be creating chances. I don't know what the price is, Jason, on to score in both halves, but that's another good parlay piece. It's probably going to be in the 150 to 200 range, and I love it. Leicester's defense sucks, but I've taken team total over 2.5 minus 110.
All right, let's go ahead and see if we can pull that up here. To score in both halves, Man City minus 148. Tack on one extra goal like we're both saying, team total. I got mine at minus 112. I'm not sure what you got yours at, but fantastic better price for all the chances that they're going to create. Oh, yeah. Right in there. All right, let's keep it on discussion going where we've got Norwich going up against Arsenal, the hottest team in the Premier League. That's Arsenal, folks. Nobody's been better. Boy, are they absolutely on fire. And obviously they're going up against the worst, the basement of the Premier League, Norwich. It comes down to... And I bet you were sweating last week with your Arsenal under 3.5. It came in, but boy, was that an uncomfortable sweat there for you. I don't know if I'd be willing to cap Arsenal this week because Norwich is just so damn bad. So it comes down to, like an Arsenal and over 1.5, or maybe can you predict maybe a clean sheet possibly? I think you can predict a clean sheet. Norwich has been that bad for me. Kind of talked about how Arsenal's got a really good partnership with the goalkeeper. Call it a back five, if you will. It's been strong. I like Arsenal on the clean sheet for this match and got that at plus money at plus 108.
Yeah. Arsenal win to 0, plus 135 looks good. I am going back to it. I know exactly what you're talking about. That Southampton one was a butt squeezer, and I hate those when you're sitting on an under nowadays. It just feels like it's not going to come in. Luckily, that one did. I'm going back to it one more time. I know that Arsenal are scoring goals for fun, but look at Norwich's last 8 matches. No game has gone over 3.5 because Dean Smith likes to keep it tight. So I think that this is a Arsenal. I've taken Arsenal and under 3.5 at plus 115. I think that Arsenal minus 1 makes sense here. I think this could be a 2-0, 3-0. Clean sheet makes total sense. Norwich haven't scored in their last 3, and Arsenal own Norwich over, just the course of history, really, between these two and this fixture. And yeah, they're the hottest team right now. So I'm just hoping that they don't get ridiculously hot here and throw 4 past them, or or concede and win this like 3-1. So yeah, I'm on Arsenal under 3.5.
Arsenal under 3.5 there for Matt in the Norwich versus Arsenal game. Let's keep the conversation going against Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Another team that is incredibly hot in Tottenham. Haven't lost with Conte in the league yet. They've only suffered losses in the Europa Conference League, but here domestically in the Premier League, they have not suffered a loss up under Conte. Looked good up against West Ham yesterday. Look, when I mean that they're one of the hottest teams, you look at form last 5, Tottenham would be a top 3 team. They'd be in 3rd place on the table there. They're going to good. They're going to be fighting for that top 4. I think they do have enough in it. They've now bowed out of the European competition due to a forfeit, so now they'll just be focused on the league. This is a team that's going to be moving in the right direction. They're going to overpower Crystal Palace. I don't know in terms of, you always try to come up with like an over this and under that. I'm just taking their team total because I think they can put 2 past Crystal Palace at home at White Hart Lane. They're starting to get their attacking football up under them. So at over 1.5 comes in at minus 120. I'm all over that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't have a ton on this. I think that you're totally right, and maybe I'm missing the mark really on Spurs right now because it probably is a good time to get with them. They are in good form under Conte, and they're gonna get better and better. So they're a team that I'm definitely looking at, and I want to get involved with here in the near future. But Palace are pesky, and I just don't know. I think that I've left this basically a lineup check. I want to see lineups in this one, so I've passed it.
They're conceding. What really got me is they're conceding almost 2 goals a game on the road. And I think that'll continue, especially with Tottenham coming into form and how well they're playing right there. All right, let's move it over. Why don't you kick it off first between West Ham and Southampton?
So this is a match I've got to bet on. I'm on West Ham here. When you're looking at the head-to-heads in this one, West Ham have won 6 of 8. They haven't lost any of them. I think they've won 5 in a row at home against Southampton. And yeah, it just makes total sense for me. That I think that it's a good bounce back spot for West Ham, who have been struggling. A couple key pieces are out, which is a concern. But yeah, I got it early at -105, and I'm just kind of riding this head to head feel good factor for West Ham.
And I guess Antonio, I know you were on that angle kind of last week with him kind of finding the back of the net. That was one of the games that got postponed, so. Yeah, they do still seem to be struggling. I didn't bet this game. This is one that I don't have any money on, just because I think Southampton have been kind of tricky, at least for me to figure out. I haven't been getting bets on them, but in laying off them, I've been laying off them correctly because I haven't had the right read on them. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. Maybe under 2.5, maybe a draw. I don't know. West Ham hasn't played in a while, at least in terms of the league. So, yeah, I left this one alone, just not having a good read, more on Southampton. I do feel like I can understand West Ham good. Battling for Europe, good team right there. Should get the win at home. The bubble should be popping there in London, but not good enough for me in terms of betting it. So I went ahead and left that one alone. I feel much more confident about this next fixture. I know you feel confident as well. Aston Villa going up against Chelsea. Boy, I just can't say enough good things about Aston Villa. And then when I see this game at Aston Villa, I love it even more. I am all on Villa in this fixture. It's just a matter of how, do you go ahead and bet them, whether you take them at some sort of a margin there. I just flat out taking them on the double chance. I think they will get a result. They don't need any points. They don't need any help. Chelsea's struggling up against Brentford yesterday in the League Cup. I know the lineup was a bunch of youngsters and what have you, but that's what you're going to get this time of the year because of COVID. You're going to get guys that aren't familiar playing in big spots. And I think Aston Villa at home with what they've been doing with Gerrard. Look, they played Liverpool, tough folks. They played Manchester City, tough folks. There's no reason why at home they can't give Chelsea one hell of a game. So at +125 on that double chance, let's go Villa.
Copy and paste for me here, Jason. I'm on just on a different angle at 3/4 plus. It's at a plus price, +3/4. So if they do lose by 1, I would only lose half my stake. This is one that could even get turned into a bigger bet on lineups. Really, I need to see what Chelsea are throwing out there. There is question marks on who is really going to be fit and available. I love what Villa's cooking up right now, and I just don't see them getting beat by a margin. If they get beat at all, I could see them winning this game.
Yep, I definitely could. If you didn't want to touch around with maybe a result in this game, I think under 2.5 will come in. I think Conte will be back in. He came up off of the bench yesterday. He was likely to go ahead and start on this game on Boxing Day with enough time to recover from yesterday's EFL Cup game. We talked about how Villa's been really, really good in their back five. I think under 2.5. If you want to get away from a result, take the under 2.5. I think that one will also come home. What's the next one? Oh, this next one I don't have any money on. You got any money on Brighton versus Brentford? I couldn't figure this game out.
No, this one's kind of like the Everton match. I'm just trying to figure out. I think that there are angles to play. Look at it. I mean, Brighton, they've only won 1 match of their last 13. Why are they at even money? Shouldn't Brighton be more like +140 here? So it makes sense for me to be on the road side. They haven't been beaten in 13 of their last 16 on the road. They travel well. And also, Jason, I think that this is one of your classic under 2.5s because we know that Brentford like to keep it tight on the road, stay in games, and Brighton aren't clinical right now. And, in these colder months, they've just started to – they're not winning games. They're not putting the ball in the back of the net. They're going to create some chances. Are they going to finish them? My bet would be no. So when you're looking at, I think that Brentford on the double chance are rightly shaded as favorites. And I think that the under 2.5 is rightly shaded as a favorite. So I would go with like the 2 favorites in those angles here. And I would take Brentford double chance under 2.5, maybe even a touch of the draw because we know that Brighton are kind of draw kings. it's setting up to where I want to play. I'm starting to talk myself into it more and more.
Well, that under 2.5 is cashed in 6 of the 8 home fixtures there for Brighton. So there's a good reason why you mentioned 2.5. I think that one will probably come home likely. I predicted this game on that NBC Sports Predictor app that NBC does. Just, it was on. I predicted 2-1 Brighton, but as I said in that video, I completely struggled with this. But I think under 2.5 probably does come in. For everything that you kind of said. Let's just move on to the last game. Last game, biggest game of the day. It's not Boxing Day. This one's so damn big, they put it all by themselves, folks. It gets the calendar all by itself. It's on the 27th. It's Newcastle. It's versus Manchester United. Manchester United obviously hasn't played in a good long time. Their last 2 games have been wiped out. Newcastle coming off a 4-0 lose to Manchester City. Okay, no big deal. Manchester City. I like Manchester United's team total. I mean, they've been handing Newcastle pretty easily over the years. I think this is a spot where they can continue doing it. They look like while we haven't really seen them in 2 games, and I don't know who's been involved in terms of training, but I think they're starting to come up under Ralph Rangnick and his system. They're playing better. They're not giving up any chances. You're not getting any really good look at the goals. So I think that'll aid on their chances. If you want to take them in some sort of margin, cool. But I think they'll find that for them to win the margin, they're probably going to have to score 2 goals. So that's why I just went for the team total route of over 1.5 goals.
Yeah, I'm on United -1 here, the same bet that I had a couple weeks ago against Norwich, and I like it more because Newcastle's defense is leakier than Norwich's is. I mean, it's just simple as that. Their defense sucks. Martin had a good point on the show that I did. He liked United in under 4.5, and it totally makes sense to me, Jason, because of what you're saying with Ralph Rangnick is he's controlling matches, so unless United just throw up 5, they're probably keeping a clean sheet here. And this is probably a 2-0, 3-0, maybe 4-0, but it stays under the 4.5. The only thing is the head-to-heads here. United dominate. They win. They've won 4-1 twice in the last 4, and then the other 2 were 3-1. So I'm just going with United -1 here. I think it is a good play. I think at worst I'm getting my money back.
Yep, I would agree with that statement. You're going to get your money back, but you're going to also make some money because they're going to win by a big old margin. They're going to stick it to them. All right, let's go ahead and reveal our official bets for Boxing Day for Matchweek number 19. We'll let Matt go first. These are our official bets, folks, but don't also forget to check us out on Twitter. We're likely to add to it once we see lineups. What are you rolling with this weekend, Matt?
Arsenal and under 3.5 +115. Villa +3/4 of a goal at +100. Man City team total over 2.5 -110. United -1 at -125, and I'm taking the Hammers. They need to bounce back. They've had some time off, and they have a great record head-to-head against Southampton with 6 wins of their last 8 and no losses in that time.
All right, we agree with a lot of these bets. I'm on that Manchester City team total over 2.5 as well. Got that at -112. Arsenal on the clean sheet at +108. Villa on that double chance at +125. Tottenham team total over 1.5 at -120. Then I mentioned the parlay. I do like that Burnley double chance. I'm going to put that in a parlay with that Manchester United team total over 1.5 and got that at plus money at +106. We should remind you guys again, or just reiterate, lineup checker this week. COVID is going crazy. There will be more games, I guarantee you, postponed, and other teams will be going into those games with a reduced squad. So check lineups. It's going to be important. Don't want you guys burning cash before the holidays. Want to help you guys put it in your pocket. Matt's the best in the business at doing it, and I'm right behind him. All right, it's Boxing Day. It's holidays. Enjoy your holidays, Matt. And do you want to try and squeeze one in on Monday? The games will end.
Absolutely.
Let's do a show on Monday.
We'll be ready to go. And, Merry Christmas to you, Jason. And, let's hope for some Boxing Day winners. I love Boxing Day.
All right, everybody. I saw the comments roll through. Everybody, thanks for dropping in a comment. Thanks for hitting that like button. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you back here for Match Week number 20. Have a good one, guys.